Welcome back to ALPB Roundup. I'm Ryan. I'm here with Report Card Day. That's right, we're 20% of the way through the season, so it is time to give out report cards. We did it at the 10% mark, we'll do it at the 30% mark, but today we're going to see Report Card 2 of the year, how everyone's stacking up. Man, Report Card Day was never a good day for me as a kid. Even now, just saying it's enough to make my booty pucker a little bit. Anyway. We'll do it like we did last time, rapid fire as possible, pulling randomly from the top, and we got the Rockers first here. The Rockers, they are 20-8. They are first in the South right now. They got an A- on the first report card. Since then, they've gone 7-4. Positives, well, they've solidified the second best pitching staff I'd say in the league, maybe even the best depending on the day. Negatives, well, the offense has come back to earth a little bit. It was the best in the league at one point. Now it's probably third or fourth, which is probably where it will settle in. Beyond that, I've thought through a sort of a more difficult schedule. They've proven themselves to be pretty good. They keep winning against teams they should be winning against. Now in first place, they're definitely the favorites to win the first half in the South. So at this point, I'm comfortable giving them another solid A- for the Rockers. On to the Barnstormers, who are 12-15. They're third in the North right now. They got a D on the first report card. It was pretty brutal. But since then, they've gone 7-4, looking much better. The offense has improved up toward league average now. The pitching is about league average as well. The team, they definitely have looked better than their record has indicated, that 12-15 record. I think at this point, they could win. I think they're an above 500 team. Could even win up to like 70 games to get real hot, especially in that South Division, which is pretty weak. So this time's grade, definitely going to be an improvement. Thought about giving a C+, but I like what this lineup has the potential to do, so I'm going to go up and give it a B- for the Barnstormers, the largest improvement we're going to see on these report cards. So how about that? B- for Lancaster. Going ahead, back to the top of the North Division with the Blue Crabs. They're 22-5. They're first in the North. They got an A on their first report card. Since then, they are 9-2. They've improved to the best offense in the league. They're 9.5 games in the North, ahead in the North. 8-1 against their division, so not even like that division's really giving them any trouble, so it's going to be hard to bring them back toward the pack. Negatives, I mean, the pitching has not been as overpowering as it was early on. Probably the third best in the league, still good, but appears to be a noticeable step behind Gastonia and High Point at this point in the year. They're still well ahead of Charleston, though, so that's a good thing to see. This extremely hot start and the bullpen being a major strength is just huge for this league and this team. Grade, I mean, I really almost gave an A+, but the pitching has stepped back slightly, so we'll see what happens and stick with an A for now. You gotta earn an A+, man. You gotta earn it. I'm not just giving them out, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys. I live and die with this. I work hard for these grades to be given out. The Genomes, they're 12-16, fourth in the North right now. 10% of the way, they had a C-. Since then, they've picked it up, 7-5. Positives, I mean, the offense and the pitching have improved. It's been helping them win the close games that they were struggling to win early in the season. Negatives, the pitching is still below average and well below average. It's going to be difficult in the South to make it work with that. All the offenses are pretty comparable, but their pitching is well behind Charleston, Gastonia, and High Point. I considered giving them a C+, but they're just giving up too many runs still, especially in this South Division. I mean, even with the Sunday shutout that they just had, the Barnstormers put up 10 runs per game on them this weekend, and they didn't score any on Sunday. So that tells you how bad it can go when that pitching staff goes bad for the Genomes. So I'm going to go with a C for them, a slight improvement for the Genomes. On to the Revolution, who are 9-18, fourth in the South. I gave them a D on their first report card. Since then, they've gone 5-6, sort of just slogging their way through it. They're built for their ballpark. I think they got some potential. Not a hot take at all. Their pitching's terrible, so it doesn't really matter that much. The pitching staff is an ERA plus of 36, with the bullpen being even worse. Until that pitching improves consistently, I can't really improve this grade. I thought about improving it to a C. We'll give them a C. Can't go any past that because of the pitching. So it's a C for York. On to the Lexington with the Legends, 12-16. They're fifth in the South. That's a surprise. They got a C on their first report card here. Since then, they've gone 4-8, really not looking good. High potential offense, and the pitching has been improving, so that's the positive. Negative, though, the offense and pitching are still both below league average, so that's a major concern for them. The longer this drags out, the more nerve-wracking it's going to get. I won't drop the grade, still give them the benefit of the doubt. They're defending champs, and they are building for the second half, so they didn't expect to clean up this early in the year, but they need to start competing in the South Division if they want to get this thing, but I will give them another C for now on report card number 2. To the FerryHawks. They got an F on the first report card. They are now 5-21. They're 5th in the South. They have gone 3-8 since that F on that first report card. I mean, they're better than their record. They're just not winning close games. They're 1-10 in one-run games. They're 0-3 in two-run games. They just still aren't good. I mean, you can say, oh, we play a lot of close games, but you're not winning them, so like you still are what your record says you are. I've actually defended them in the past. I've cooled on them over the past week. Pitching has receded toward league average. That was their big strength. The offense is the league's worst by a significant margin, scoring 2.5 runs per game less than any other team in the league right now. I mean, they're currently projected to be like a 50-win team. It's just not a good ball club. No reason to improve them from an F on this report card, so it's going to be another F for the FerryHawks here. F is for FerryHawks. The Honey Hunters, they're 19-8. They're 2nd in the South now. I gave them an A on the first report card. Record since 5-6, not great. Still one of the top 2 pitching staff in the league for sure. Negatives, I think they're a bottom tier offense right now. It's another hot take, but their numbers are kind of inflated from their home park. But if you look at their numbers outside of the hitter-friendly stadium, they're not impressive. Other than that, they have enough to win games that they should. Whether it's against lesser teams or on their home field where they're kind of built to win there, they beat the teams they should beat. But this team is starting to slide, and I suspect that slide could be here to stay. They're not going to, the wheels ain't going to fall off this thing, I don't think. But it's not, I don't see them, they're not the team that we saw those first 15 games where they kind of beat up on some weaker competition. I'll give them a B on this go-around. Nearly made me nervous enough to drop to a B-, but I'll hold it on a B right now for the Honey Hunters. To Long Island, they're 12-14, 2nd in the North. Gave them a C on the first report card. Since then, they're 5-6. It's a very similar field to the Legends, except in the North. I mean, finding a way to win the North shouldn't be that difficult for them. I mean, in the second half, I don't think they can come back for the first half at this point, but it's still the Ducks. It's still the North Division. But you got to be worried. Right now, their pitching and their offense is bottom tier, probably bottom 30% of the league on both. Other than that, they have guys on both ends who do get it done, but they just lack depth, and that's been getting exposed, whether they're playing the South Division or even just like not ripping off all the wins they can against some of the weaker competition, leaving games behind against some of the teams they really should beat up on. So similar to Lexington, I'm going to keep them at a C, but really if that might be changing very soon if they don't start to get some momentum here. And is this, what do we got? Last but not least, yeah, it's the Dirty Birds. We've cruised through this. 13-15 in Charleston, 3rd in the South. It gave them a B to start here. Since then, they're 4-7. Offensively, offense and pitching, if we're being honest, both holding solid at league average to slightly above average. Unfortunately, the hope was that they'd kind of improve in those areas. Like, the early start was like, all right, this is a good base, and we're kind of hoping that they would reach higher potential, but it seems like they're just kind of locked in at league average right around there. So it seems just to be a middle team in the division right now. They're a good bit better than Lexington and the Genomes, good bit worse than Gastonia and High Point. So they're just kind of stuck in the middle. Will Gastonia slide? Will Legends improve? A lot of what goes on with Charleston is dependent on what's around them right now. As far as the grade goes, it's actually the biggest drop of any team. I'm taking them from a B to a C+. I just don't think, I think the B went more toward what we think they could be, and now I think we're like, oh, okay, that's who they are. But they're a C+ team, maybe a B- team, depending on the day. So that's a C+ for the Dirty Birds. So in order from the top, the Blue Crabs get an A, and the Rockers get an A-. Then the Honey Hunters get a B, and yes, the Barnstormers get a B- on this go-round. From there, the Dirty Birds get a C+, and the Genomes, Ducks, Revs, and Legends all get Cs. Cs get degrees, though, trust me. Don't ask my GPA. Finally, the FerryHawks get another F. And that'll do it for report card day. Oh, just saying report card and grades that much made me anxious. As I said, don't ask my GPA. But we got some Atlantic League baseball coming up. Until then, we'll talk. We'll do a roundup tomorrow. I'm not trying to drag this video out any longer. Maybe I'll hit a quick preview on Instagram today. But until then, I'm Ryan from ALPB Roundup. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram. Y'all have a good one. Go to school, kids. Stay in school. Go to school. Read. Do your homework.